I'm David Harvey. I'm a former district court judge. I taught for 18 years in the field of law and information technology. I've written textbooks on the subject and have addressed conferences and written a number of papers on regulatory solutions for online problems. And my submission is directed towards regulatory solutions. In addition to the work that I did, in addition to my judicial work, I was involved in a consultative role with the Law Commission on the development of the Harmful Digital Communications Act. And when I look at regulatory solutions, there are two possible roads that you might like to travel. One is the prior restraint model, which is a sort of what has been proposed at the moment, which is kind of like a ban or some kind of regulatory structure that stops harm from getting to consumers. And the other is rather like the Harmful Digital Communications Act, which is a reactive model, which means that if there has been a problem, then there is a complaint and that engages a certain process. The difficulty that you have in trying to regulate online material is firstly jurisdiction. We can make all sorts of laws for what happens in New Zealand, but the minute you get outside New Zealand's jurisdictional limits, you have got problems. That also relates to issues of enforceability. How are you going to enforce against an organisation that is located offshore? Circumvention is another problem, and I've heard discussion already about VPNs and how young people would be able to circumvent anything that any obstructions that they might have to online activity. I was interested to hear the previous submitter talk about restrictions on devices, and that has a certain attraction in a way because it's certainly localized and doesn't raise the jurisdictional or enforceability issues. But every solution can be circumvented. The answer to the machine lies in the machine. It's an adage that's been around the internet for some time. There has been a submission on behalf of the Technology Law Committee of the Law Association of New Zealand, which says there should be enhancement of online education and digital literacy. And that is a particular solution that I would endorse substantially. And it's backed by a recent release from the House of Lords of the United Kingdom, who have a number of what are called media literacy proposals, or I would suggest could be widened to digital literacy proposals. And there are three major thrusts there. One is to embed digital literacy or media literacy across the school curriculum. The second is to demand more from the platforms in terms of content control. And the third is to enhance digital literacy or media literacy across the arms of government. So those are some very general remarks that I want to make, and in some respects have updated the submission that I have made. I think that the problems that have arisen could be addressed by making some minor amendments to the Harmful Digital Communications Act, a reactive solution rather than a prior restraint solution. Thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Vanessa Rena.
Thank you very much. I'm interested in your suggestion that there could be some strengthening to elements of the code of practice,
yes.
Voluntary code of practice. What about a mandatory code of practice? Do you think that would be too far, or could there be another way? What did you specifically mean by strengthening?
Right. By strengthening, I believe that there should be a constant survey or a constant monitoring, if you like, of the effectiveness of a code of practice. Mandatory codes of practice suffer because it means that they're hard to change, whereas a voluntary code of practice can adjust to certain situations, new situations, as they arise. The other thing about a mandatory code of practice is that you're straying into the territory of the Safer Online Services and Web Platforms proposals of the Department of Internal Affairs that were abandoned by the government in 2023, early 2024. I think a voluntary code is much better because it means that the people who are there have invested in it and have skin in the game, if I can put it bluntly. I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, David. I think that's all we've got time for.
I'm
This
happy
morning-
to, I'm happy to be available at any time to the committee should you require some assistance, because I do have some expertise in this field.
That would be great.
Appreciate that.
Thank
Thank you, David.